Tony joins us now. Tony, good to see you again. You should know that we get a Christmas card from you every year on the show. So I don't know if you know that, but the foundation sends us a Christmas card, and we got one of your skateboards in here as well in the man cave. So thank you.
Well, hey, it's my pleasure. I want to be represented there. I just keep trying to inch my way back in.
If I would have told you 30 years ago skateboarding's going to be in the Olympics, you would have said what?
Yeah, right. Sure. Okay.
Would you have wanted skateboarding in the Olympics?
As an example of something not to do? What's that?
Would you have wanted skateboarding in the Olympics back then?
Sure. Yeah, I was never against it. I obviously skateboarding gave me so much as a youth and shaped my identity and my way of looking at things. But at the same time, I wasn't coveting it. I wasn't like, this is our thing and no one else can see it. I was always wondering why it wasn't more popular. And so to have had it in the Olympics back then would have been a great boost, I think. And hey, I would have loved to join the fun too. Because
I didn't know how it felt like the X Games when they came along. It felt like that was the anti-Olympics, but there were certain sports that maybe didn't want to be in mainstream. Sure. You understand that?
But I think that there's a population of skaters that feel that way. Absolutely. And ones that do covet it and don't want that and did start skating because it was their antithesis to team sports. I just never felt that way. But I do think the X Games, what I loved about X Games is they let us be our sort of irreverent selves. And so sometimes the rules were pushed in terms of letting someone go past time or letting someone go way off script and jump off the course or do something that wasn't in the confines of the competitive rule book. And we knew going to the Olympics, that wouldn't fly.
What did you see in Tokyo?
I saw some of the best skating. I saw a whole new generation of skaters that are at the top of the game. And I saw after the fact, a lot more interest in skateboarding in terms of international embracing of it.
How would you have done at 15?
I think I would have done pretty well. I think I turned pro when I was 14. That's the thing, that there's a whole sort of misperception that all these, like, what happened? All these kids are young. I go, that's been happening forever. I mean, I turned pro when I was 14. I won my first world championships when I was 15. Nigel Houston was considered the best street skater when he was 13. So it's not a great surprise. I didn't think it would be across the entire podium, but it just shows that they not only had the skills, they had a strategy.
What did you do? Like, is there something about being young that makes you even better? I don't know if it's being fearless, but what is it about being 14 or 15 years of age and being great at skateboarding as opposed to if you were 25?
I think the resilience that you can bounce back from big falls, maybe a little easier. And in terms of the park event, which is more the bowl transition skating, it's the size of that is not the usual size. Like what I skate a vert ramp. A vert ramp is about 13 to 14 feet tall. Those ramps are closer to 10. And if your size is suitable for that, you can actually utilize it better. And so the younger kids have a slight advantage in terms of how they can go much higher because they can ball up and get up there.
If this was a game of Operation where we got to see your body, how many broken bones would we have in that game of Operate? Do we have a hot spot on your body that a little bit more surgery?
Well, knees with surgeries, but nothing broken on my knees. Luckily, I broke my elbow, I broke my pelvis, and dislocated my fingers last year. That's why these are so fat.
Okay, but at what point do you not get on that skate? You're going to be 53, or you turn 53, I think?
I am 53.
Okay,
yes.
So at what point do you go, I don't know if I can get on the skateboard here?
I think, I don't know if I'll ever reach that point. I may reach a point where I don't want to do it in public. So there's probably a moment where I think, you know what? Maybe today's not the day to go show off.
Well, I was wondering how old is too old to get on a skateboard, but you're saying as long as nobody sees it, then I can get on it the rest of my life.
Yeah. If an elderly man steps on a skateboard and there's no one around to see it, does it actually happen?
Did you attend high school?
Yes. Yeah.
Like
all the way through.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
But you're touring
normal
and traveling.
Public school.
Yeah, but
here in San Diego. It was a little tricky in my junior and senior year because I was requested or required to travel for my job as a skater. And I tried to make up my work. My grades definitely suffered in my senior year.
What are you making at age 14 when you turn pro?
You're gunning for $100 first place prize money in the professional competition.
That was it.
That was it. Yeah.
Okay, but who decides or how do you declare I'm going pro? That means you can qualify for the prize money?
Yes. Well, I had reached the top of the amateur rankings. And so at the next event, I was filling out the entry form for the event, and there was one box that said amateur and there was one box that said pro. And so I ticked the pro box, and that was it. There were no, birds were not singing. There was not a big celebration. It was more like, well, now you're in the big leagues and you're going to be skating against guys that are 4 to 5 years older than you.
Who gave you the nickname Birdman?
Someone on ESPN. I'm gonna probably guess it was Salema Masakela.
Okay, and you're okay with Birdman?
I mean, I've just come to embrace it. It's okay. I mean, there could be much worse. Hey, when I was a kid, Tony Hawk rhymed with Boney Cock, so Birdman is much more flattering.
That's a tough childhood, Tony.
Yeah. Was that bullying? I guess they just called it being picked on.
Yeah. But I love that they go up to you and they go, "You look like Tony Hawk." And
every day.
Your response is?
I've heard that. My latest response is I've heard that quite a bit, but you're the first today.
And also, who else are you mistaken for?
As of lately, I got Lance Armstrong, and then I got Tom Brady, believe it or not. I mean, hey, whatever it takes.
Whoa.
But I think it's just more that it was in their mind. It was like, oh, that's an athlete. Tom Brady. That's it. Tom Brady. I don't think it was about the looks.
If you had to get out of the house with one piece of memorabilia, what would you take?
Oh, wow. That is a difficult question. I do have the skateboard that I did the first 900 on from X Games 1999. And if I'm going to go memorabilia, it's probably that one.
Where is that right now?
It is actually at my office where my ramp is. But let's just say if there's a fire at the office, that's what I'm taking.
Tell me about what's going to go on in Utah, the Utah State Fairgrounds there.
Well, like I said, the half pipe vert discipline is something that was not in the Olympics, but I think it's something that still is thriving, and it's a different style of skating because it's more aerial based. So it's more of the big jump, the stuff you saw at the X Games. And so I'm, on the heels of the Olympic success, I'm trying to bring back the whole vert discipline, and we're taking my ramp that you've probably seen me skate indoors at my office. We're taking the whole thing to Salt Lake City and putting it up, and it's a free public event. Some of the best vert riders. We got a Legends skate session on the 27th with people like Steve Caballero, Christian Osoy, myself, Mike Frazier, Andy McDonald. So I'm excited. I feel like I've been trying to push for something like this for the last few years. Obviously, it got shelved over the last year and a half and now we're going for it.
It's great to talk to you again, Tony. We appreciate your time, and have fun in Utah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dan.
That's Tony Hawk. And Seaton's geeking out like he's a girl watching the Beatles perform at Shea Stadium there.